Already had it. We're running. We're late. Come on. I've got the letters. You can see the guests are all in. Terrific lineup for you tonight. They're always good. And here we are. First letter tonight is this one. My good friend has always been a little unlucky and he's asked to borrow $10,000. That's it. Second letter tonight. Do I have to serve alcohol at our party? You're a stinge, Harry. Seriously. I mean,
what's wrong?
What's going on? Boring party. We're not going to Harry's place. And the last letter tonight, she's in the toilet for at least 20 minutes.
It's her. It's her.
Let's start the show. Great lineup tonight. Come on.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Yeah, fair enough. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. We've started the chat here already. It's terrific. Who's on the panel tonight? Who's looking at your letters? Who's about to abuse the little writers? First up, my mate Harry's here. Hello,
Yes.
sir.
Hi, Gary. How you going?
I'm all right. Nice to see you at the Glendy over the weekend, mate.
Beautiful. It's fantastic event. Just missed out on my frappe, but that's all right.
Sorry about that.
I'll track
Didn't
you down,
get one
George.
in?
No,
I got
didn't
mine
get
in.
one in. Yeah, very
I got
good.
mine in the second day.
That's it.
All right, tell me, interest rates where?
I think with all the stuff that's going on with the banks at the moment, you won't see a rate rise for a while.
I think
they're
so
going to lie low.
Okay. Just chill out for a
Yeah,
bit.
chill out a bit.
All
I
my
think.
mates in business are saying flat, mates. Just flat. We're still looking for something to give us some encouragement. Flat, mate.
I just read an article that said if you want to fix your rates, now's the time to do it.
Now's
Was
the
it
time.
from a
Now's
bank,
the time
was
to
it?
do it. Daz, say hello to Daz, everyone. Hello, Daz. How are you, sir?
Hey, Mitch, very well, mate. Good
Nice
to be
to
here.
have you here.
Mate, I'm still waiting for a frappe too. How long have I been coming here and I've never had a frappe?
Don't they give you a frappe at radio?
No, I don't know one radio
How
station.
many stations do you work at?
Three-ish, three maybe four, depending on
Is
the
there
day.
anyone busier than you?
Oh, look, no, just ask my wife.
Yeah, there you go. Good
Never
to have you
never
here,
see her
sir.
anymore. It's been the best way for our
How do we
relationship.
actually steal you away? But thank you for coming.
Mate, I'm
Nice to
always
have
happy. You know what it is? A big appearance fee gets me every time.
Me too. Hello, Yvonne.
Hello.
You're an Yvonne, not an Yvonne.
That's correct, yes.
I have a cousin who's an Yvonne.
Ah, well, she has the American pronunciation.
Ah,
Yeah, so-
Yvonne.
Yvonne is
Gotta get your
American.
Yvonne.
Yeah. So like that YouTube video with the comedian, and she's like, oh, Yvonne, that's a French ass name, Yvonne. Have you seen that?
No, but I'll go and look it up.
Definitely do.
Nice to have you here.
So much of it.
Deanna.
Yes.
What are you doing that's going to keep you busy for every Monday for the next?
Oh,
Are
I'm
we allowed
doing.
to discuss that?
Yeah, totally. It's just I'm doing some kind of specialist climbing training. Basically, I'm doing a 2-hour program every Monday night.
How
where
good are you?
hopefully better at the end of the next 10
Are we allowed to show them
weeks.
your muscles? Can we get
Really?
flex?
Really?
Flex.
Are you teaching or learning?
Look at that.
Learning. So
She's
I
good.
want to
She's
compete
fit.
in. I want to compete in the nationals next year, and I've got a little bit of work to
Commonwealth
do.
Games coming up in 4 years.
Well, the climbing's going to be part of the Olympics in
4 years.
2020.
Oh, 2 years.
Yeah.
Here we go.
2020,
First letter tonight.
something.
One born every second. Okay, panel people, I have an issue which is pretty monumental in my mind. My good friend, who has always been a little unlucky, has asked to borrow $10,000. If I lend it to him, there's more than a slim possibility that I'll never see it again. But it's a slim possibility, and he's always come good in the past. It's just that it's never been such an amount before. Yes, I'm aware of the old adage, lend money, lose a friend. But so far, it's never strained the relationship. My problem is my husband. He's never been particularly fond of my friend. And the last time I lent him some money, my husband hit the roof. When all the money was repaid, he settled down but demanded that I never put myself in that position again. So I'm a little conflicted on two fronts. Should I tell my husband? And secondly, should I actually lend my good friend the money? It's weighing on me. Fiona, who's got plenty of bucks to spare apparently in South Perth, Western Australia. Deanna, would you lend $10,000 to anyone?
No, well, no. Only
What
if
about
I
your mum or
had.
dad?
Well, if I had it, I'd lend it to my parents for sure. But I'm not a big fan of lending an amount like that to a friend. But it's relative, right? If I had bucket loads of money, I might feel good. We don't know how much money Fiona has, but the thing that I want to draw attention to is she said, firstly, should I tell my husband? And secondly, should I lend the money? I think it's the other way round, sweetheart. Like, decide if you're going to lend the money. And the answer to that should be no. And then whether you tell your husband or not is entirely up to you, you know. But you'll probably be causing trouble if you do. So it depends on whether or not you're a troublemaker.
Finance guru, what are you going to do?
Don't lend
No?
money.
Don't lend money. Okay.
You've been you've had the elevator pitch, where I lend a little bit of money, I take a while to pay you back, and then you get the money back finally. And then I'll probably lend a little bit more money, take a while to pay you back, and then you get your money back. Then all of a sudden I borrow a lot of money from you and I disappear as a friend and your 10 grand's gone. But I totally agree with Deanna. You got it the wrong way around. You must tell your husband, because if you value your relationship for more than $10,000, he deserves to know, because I would say it's joint money.
You're living beyond your means.
Exactly.
No good.
I've got nothing to add that these people haven't already said.
Thank you.
You're a fool if you give him $10,000.
Yes.
You're a fool.
Phil,
Yvonne,
I just want to know what the $10,000 is for. Like,
but why does it make a difference?
well, it definitely makes a difference. You know, like
Because
if this person was like,
surgery?
I really need $10,000 for a pony, you're like, well, I'm not going to lend you $10,000 for a pony. That's a terrible idea. But if it's like,
I don't know if it was black caviar.
I mean, it could be a sound investment, depends on what the
You're
horse
living
is
beyond
for.
your means.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you know, if,
Unless it's surgery.
Yeah,
Maybe
if it's surgery.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, maybe for surgery.
And augmentation.
Yes.
Yeah, not
But
just
keep
a
in
trip to
mind,
Thailand.
This person's borrowed money in the past, so there's a little bit of a pattern here. It's not like it's
Yeah.
someone that's come
What do
on.
you call it, Harry?
Elevator pitch.
That's
Elevator
it.
pitch.
That's it.
okay.
Is lending money, is lending friends large sums of money a good idea, we asked you at home?
Well, I can't
and
imagine they'd say
this
yes.
is what you said.
What's the stat?
18% said yes.
There you go.
You reckon they're the people
They're
who
the people
run
who
around and borrow money? And 82% said no.
Yeah, they're the people that have lent
Lent
money.
the money and got burnt in the past.
You're out
Oh my goodness. When we come back, we're going to talk about whether you can have fun at an alcohol-free party. Who's done that?
Me? Of course
you can.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, boring. I'm not going to your parties. When we come
Didn't say
back.
it was my party.
Sweet and sour. Thanks,
There were
James.
clothes involved. Sorry, could I say that out loud?
Got to make it fun somehow.
That's right.
Hello, welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you would love to send us a little idea that you have in your head that's really nagging you at home, send it to one of these contact points on your screen right now. It'll land here, and if we like it, we're going to read it out, discuss it, and for every letter that we do discuss on Sweet and Sour, we are going to send you to the movies, courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. And the movie we're sending you to this week is
I feel pretty.
starring...
I feel pretty.
Oh, so I can't do this.
Starring Amy Schumer.
Amy
The
Schumer.
fabulous Amy
The
Schumer.
fabulous
Oh,
Amy
she's so
Schumer.
good.
Your version involves a female impersonator by the sound of it.
Free tickets to my show coming up. Hi, Sweet and
They've got
Sour.
to be free.
Definitely.
Do I have to serve alcohol at our party? I don't like it. I don't drink it. Neither does my husband. Neither or neither.
That's it.
Neither.
Both of them.
Okay.
I'm a neither.
Yeah.
What's cool? Doesn't matter. I don't feel comfortable inviting people over to celebrate and then sending them away at the conclusion with elevated blood alcohol levels, which is both dangerous on the roads now, and now rather, we know that it's also damaging to our health overall. I just don't feel comfortable doing that to our friends simply because of a mindless cultural standard that we're so indoctrinated that we believe we can't do without alcohol at celebrations. My husband is actually pretty cool with it, but I'm worried about the reaction when I put on the invitations strictly no alcohol. Are we such an uptight nation that we can't function at celebrations without plonk? If it's now okay to stop people smoking indoors, surely for the same reasons alcohol can be treated similarly.
Wow.
So if we give invited guests plenty of notice of the no alcohol, have exceptional and plentiful food, have a series of novel activities with great music at the event, isn't that enough to have a great night? Some cultural traditions like alcohol are in serious need of review, and they're such an exciting couple that Michelle from Armidale of Victoria finishes with. Also, if you have any novelty party suggestions, that would be appreciated too.
I only know drinking games.
Dazza.
Wow. Okay.
Drinking
If you could hear grinding through that, that would be me just kind of waiting.
Grinder, that's a
patiently.
different party.
Can I just say, wow, there's a novel party suggestion right there. Can I just say, I hear you and I understand what you're saying, but you can't be such a wet blanket. You can't, you know what, you can't preach like that to people and expect people to come over.
Yeah.
If you don't want to drink, that's fine. You can't actually enforce these things on other people. And when you say, are we such an uptight nation that we can't function at celebrations without alcohol? That's not being uptight.
You're
I'm not,
uptight.
you know what, I'm not much of a drinker either, but this just makes me cringe. You're making us look bad. No, sorry, you've got to let people do what they want to do because you can't be everyone's mum.
Yvonne,
Exactly.
Yes, I definitely agree. I think
are you a
that-
non-drinker?
No, I drink. I drink socially. I mean, I don't go out and get
drinking now.
pissed, but yeah, shh, under the table. Don't tell everybody.
This is a dry set.
Definitely dry.
Sorry, it was a dry set.
Yes, no longer. Anyway, I just think that if you're going to have a party where you're not going to be serving alcohol, you have to provide some other kind of novelty which is equally as entertaining, such as Naked Twister or Valium.
Yes, there you
Nice.
go.
All
Two
very
good options.
options.
Yeah,
When did the
definitely.
invitations come out?
Oh, for my
I'm
party.
excited.
Mine isn't alcohol-free, I'm sorry, Mitch.
Oh.
But I probably wouldn't invite you
I like
anyway.
the twister idea. I haven't cracked an invite over here. All right. Deanna, come on, we're going to your place for a party.
Do you know?
No, you'd be climbing rocks. I'm not coming to your party.
No. We don't climb when we're at parties because we're too drunk. You fall off things.
okay.
It's a bad idea.
Monkey bars.
Booze and parties, they go together, right? Look, I spent quite a bit of time last year not drinking. I had an inflammatory thing going on and alcohol made it worse. I still went to parties. I had a really good time. Everyone around me drank. I didn't. It was awesome. So you could probably be the sober one at a party and still have a good time. Really, the question is, will you enjoy it? You know, like that's the question to ask. I have another question for you though. Why do you think people not smoking indoors is the same as people not drinking indoors? The reason you don't smoke indoors is because you're affecting other people with your passive smoke. The guy next to you being drunk doesn't make you drunk. Like, they're completely different things. I don't understand why you would even ask that question.
Michelle, I'm all with you. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Wowzer on the panel.
I'm all in. I'd go for a Tupperware party. You could invite your friends around to play Uno. You could do hide and seek. There is a plethora of things that you could do.
Oh my God,
You
your
could do-
friends sound like they're 6 years old.
You could do hide and seek. You know, you'd hide. You'd be seeking your friends, and you'd never see them again. Look, I think
You'd need an awful lot of fairy bread to make that work, wouldn't you?
what's wrong with it? Look, I think if you want to have a party and you don't want to have any alcohol, it's your party. And if your friends want to come to your party with no alcohol, they'll come. And if your friends don't want to come to the party with no alcohol, they won't come. You will still be there tomorrow, and it doesn't matter.
You know, my nephew hosted a little gathering of us in Adelaide not so long ago, and you weren't allowed to drink because he's a bit of a gamer, and he said it will take the sharpness away from your head. And we had a ball.
Yeah.
We had an
Depends what
absolute
you're doing.
ball.
It really depends on what you're doing. If all you've got is music playing and a bunch of people standing around, then alcohol's an excellent social lubricant in that space.
Couldn't
you know?
agree more,
But if
doing
you introduce games,
Tupperware displays.
like Tupperware or lipsticks or whatever.
Is
I don't know.
Tupperware a game? What sort of game is Tupperware?
Do it right. Sorry.
We asked you people at home, are you happy to attend a function that's alcohol-free? And here's what you said. 81% of you said yes.
That's right.
I'll go to an alcohol-free
I'm the only
party.
normal one on the whole panel.
Yep, and only 18% said no. That's the 18% that finish up with DD. When we come back, we're going to be talking about, I don't know what we're talking about. What is stink?
Stinky Malinky.
Stinky Malinky.
Yeah.
Oh no! How old is she? She's a young girl, but
Old
she
enough to know better.
Smells bad.
spends her life in the loo. When we come back,
terrible.
Stinky Malinky. Don't go away. Stinky. Who's a stinky malinky at home?
Don't waste your mad rant on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. They don't care. We do. Write into us at the Sweet and Sour panel and we'll solve all your problems.
It's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and
Yeah. God, they're all boozers on this.
Oh, I love how you point the finger.
Dear Mitch and panellists, I had my niece from Sydney stay with us for 3 weeks while she was working here. She's a lovely girl, but I think she's very out of touch with her health. I'm pretty sure she hasn't a clue about eating well. That's her choice, but I'm not sure it's a choice she's making, rather one that she's just fallen into through lack of nutrition education. She doesn't eat fruit. She eats out most of the time, and when she was home for dinner, she would leave most of her vegetables. She drinks sugary drinks every day and also those heavy caffeine drinks.
I can see where this is going.
And here's the inconvenience for anyone with whom she lives, and that's been my poor family recently. She's in the toilet for at least 20 minutes when she wakes and the same before she goes to sleep. She keeps the whole household waiting and waiting. Worse, the stench is so overwhelming, it keeps everyone out for just as long afterwards. It's plainly a result of her bad diet. Is there anything I can say or do here to wake her up? Without question, she is cultivating an enormous amount of health problems. I'm worried about her. I really don't want the inconvenience of her awful eating and toilet habits if she wants to stay again, but I don't want to be mean to her either. What can I do to prompt her to adopt better, healthier habits? Barry, far away in Nunawading, thank goodness, in Victoria. Yvonne, what's your eating like?
My eating's actually reasonably good most of the time. I try to have a healthy diet, and I have a reasonably healthy bowel as well, in case you were wondering.
Hang on. How long do you spend with your ablutions?
Oh, well, I'm in and out pretty much, yeah. Like no
And your
straining,
ablutions?
no anything. My what?
And your ablutions?
What are ablutions?
Never mind, keep going.
Okay. Anyway, what I was saying, Gary, I want to know what the parents are doing. So this is his niece. What? But surely this is a parent's responsibility for the niece to have good eating habits.
But she's obviously over 18
she'd be what, a
now.
teenager? Are you sure she'd be over 18?
Anyway, it doesn't say about
I guess that was
coming
just
over
my
for work.
assumption, yeah. But I also
she
think
eats like a irresponsible person.
definitely. But I also think that people adopt eating habits from their upbringing. So I don't know. But
I think that's right.
yeah, but I guess maybe if she is an adult, then yeah, why not bring it up? If she's unaware of it, then
don't you just
definitely have a
talk
chat
to her?
about it. Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you just tell her? What's wrong with that, Daz?
Okay.
What would you do?
When people go to the toilet, it generally smells. I don't think anybody on this panel is going to claim to have poo that smells like roses.
Sorry.
Strawberries, any of the above.
Sorry.
Oh, you are. Of course you are, Gary.
Sorry.
Put your hand down.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm one of those people, my shit doesn't stink.
Ah, there we go. There's always one that thinks so.
always
No,
one.
I'm sorry. That's just what the toilet's like. You can't get bent out of shape about.
Maybe it's really, really bad though.
But 20 minutes?
Well, listen,
20
I'm
minutes?
not going to go into how long and how often and all that kind of business.
But you have to.
You can eat healthy and do all of those things. You can still spend 20 minutes in the loo
No, but
4
then you're
times a
actually
day and
Facebooking.
eat healthy. No, everyone's bowel is different.
Of course
and
it is.
some people's gut flora smells different to other people's. I'm not going to defend
I
that.
sense-
I'm just
I
saying,
sense
take your head out of the loo.
defensiveness
Yeah,
here.
there's a bit
I
of
sense some
sensitivity
defensiveness
here.
Hello?
here.
Yeah,
What's going on over there?
definitely.
I'm sensing persecution. And if your niece is watching, I hear you, and I'd get out of there. Run.
We asked you people at home to answer this question. Is lack of nutritional understanding in epic proportions? Now, here's what you said. 77% of you said yes. Only 23% of you probably have a healthy diet. Does that shock any of you?
No.
No? Harry, what's going on here?
Look, I just think, she's one, I agree with you, Darren. She's one of those people that just goes to the toilet for 20 minutes and she wants to spend some chill time. Maybe she's spending 20 minutes in there to stay away from you guys.
And she has a rotten diet.
Maybe you might need to get some of that spray. What do you call it?
VIP.
VIP. Very good. Potpourri or poopery.
See, they happen to know about that, don't they? You know,
and as Darren said, maybe she's in there doing, answering emails or, Facebooking or whatever the case is.
She's pooing and struggling. 20 minutes, and she's keeping the whole house waiting.
Maybe she's not struggling. Maybe she's just freely pooing for 20 minutes.
That's it.
20
That's
minutes you're
possible too,
struggling.
you know.
20 minutes.
Not everybody hits the toilet like a SWAT team and gets in and get out in 1 second.
And that's because of their diet.
Yeah, I agree.
Dina.
You just called me Deanna.
Dina.
Every episode.
Congratulate me. That's the first one. We've got one in tonight. All right. Deanna.
Yeah, look, I reckon if someone's spending, I'm sorry to disagree with you, Chen. Actually, sorry, not sorry is what I should be saying. Because pretty much I think you're wrong. If
You're dead to me anyway.
you spend 20 minutes on a toilet and you're pooing the whole time and it smells really, really bad every time, there's something not working.
There's something wrong.
I'm telling you, something is not right.
It's not right.
You absolutely can poo a lot. If you eat high fibre diet and you eat lots of fruits and vegetables, you'll poo heaps. But if you're not eating fruits and vegetables and you're consuming epic amounts of sugar and huge amounts of caffeine, I'm telling you, that stuff is not going well.
Okay, can I suggest?
It's just the
I'm
way
not
it goes.
disagreeing. Can I just suggest check her for lactose intolerance?
She's not drinking any lactose. She's
Well, maybe
drinking
she's
caffeine, drinking some
intolerant.
sugar.
She's not
That
eating.
could be
diarrhea.
There's no roughage in her diet.
There's no roughage in her diet, right? Like,
Because there's
that
nothing
causes
left
problems.
after 20 minutes.
Do you know, 30 seconds is all it takes. And guess what? One sheet of paper.
Oh, yeah. Quickly went to public school.
That's how you know if you're healthy. 30 seconds and one sheet of paper.
Do you know, my chiro has this, in both of the toilets, they have this little stool comparison chart that shows you if it's lumpy like this or if it's shaped like this. If it looks like a smile and it's a sausage, you're doing well. Basically,
Instagram,
that's how it goes.
You know, whilst we're talking poo, we've actually got to wrap up and say good night.
Okay.
Thank you, panellists.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you.
Vote on a letter.
We have to. Well, it's too late to do all of that anyway. We're going to give Stinky Malinky the Very popular. Very popular.
Give
All
the
right.
sunnies to your niece.
Give what?
Give the sunnies to your niece, Stinky Malinky.
God.
She won your pair of sunnies. You probably should.
You wear the sunnies when you go out with your niece and you're sitting there waiting in the restaurant for her to come back. No good. Stinky Malinky, Barry of Nunawading, coming out to you a pair of limited edition sunnies courtesy of who? Alon Treves, our mate. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you to our terrific crew. That's right. Harry knows what to do. Good night, Australia. This is what we do. That's it. Good night, everyone. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I have to go to the loo now. Goodness
20 minutes, no longer.
Yeah, can you spray afterwards as well?